let's talk about true crime and intuition. Hi, I'm medium Kate Kofelt. Have you ever met somebody for the first time and you thought, ew, or even you thought, I don't trust this person, but you dismissed it anyway? Yeah, sometimes we do that, right? And I used to do that myself before I realized that we had this internal compass that guides us, and it's a beautiful thing called intuition. And it's good to use it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Jeffrey DeVardo. I don't know if you guys know about the Jeffrey DeVardo case. If you do, write down in the comments that you do. But Jeffrey DeVardo happened to be one of the janitors at my church. So back in 1999, I had belonged to a Baptist church. And one of my friends, her daughter was friends with my daughter and had invited my daughter over for a slumber party, for a birthday slumber party. And at the time I thought, well, I don't know Dad, who was Jeffrey DeVardo, but I did know of him because he was a janitor at the church. And I was friends with his wife, and I thought, okay, it should be okay. So I take my daughter over to the slumber party. And as soon as the door opens, Jeffrey DeVardo shakes my hand. He says, hi. And as soon as he did that, I was like, seeing this strange vision of, and I have to be careful how I say this because it is social media, but I saw this strange vision of what's inside here and lots of red liquid. And I was like, why did I see that? I dismissed it, thought it was weird, but I'm looking around the house and I thought, you have a beautiful home. And he's like, oh, do you want to take a tour? And I said, sure. So he walks me into the kitchen and he starts talking about some of the activities that they have planned for the kids. And as he was talking about the activities, I again saw what looked like hamburger and lots of red liquid. And I thought, that is just so strange. But as soon as that happened, his wife walks in, my friend, and she decides to finish the tour, take me on the tour to finish looking at her house. So I leave my daughter there. Everything went fine. About a month later, I hear that Jeffrey DeVardo is arrested. And he's arrested for unaliving his parents. His parents were found, so I guess on March 31st, around there, Jeffrey had gone into work at Boeing, clocked in, snuck out, drove all the way to Nice, California, and unalived his parents. His mom was found with her, and coroner's report showed blunt force trauma. That's what I was seeing. Had no idea I was seeing that at the time. But isn't that crazy how our intuition works? It was screaming at me, trying to protect my daughter. Anyway, apparently I think the reason why he did this was because he wanted to be a cop. He tried twice, failed, but then he came up with this story for his parents, and he told his parents that he was a CIA operative and that he needed $30,000 for a sting operation or an arms deal, something like that, or he would be killed. And his parents, of course, believed him, and they gave him the money. About a year later, they're wanting their money back. So what does he do? Instead of telling them and being honest that he spent that money as a down payment on that beautiful house in Valencia, he decides to end their days on this planet. Yeah, my intuition was screaming at me. If I'd known then what I know now, I would have never let my daughter spend the night in that house. Pay attention to your intuition. It's there for a reason. Hope that helps.